Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bullpen. It's my dear brother from another mother, politically misguided, but has some redeeming qualities, Shelley Wynter. We try to do this at least once a month. Typically, it gets off the rails, it's ridiculous, but we always try. For the last two opportunities, it has actually been an okay conversation, I must say.
Because you let me talk.
Okay, Shelley. Good day, sir, welcome.
What's going on, my brother? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. We got a basketball, we're gonna do a basketball invitational in Southeast Atlanta. So I want you to be part of that. I'll send you the details, okay?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
All right, that's for all the young people in the community. Okay, we're gonna chop it up about conservatives, black conservatives, increasing in numbers. Maybe they're taking advantage of the non-delivery of Joe Biden because, as I've said on the record, Biden has not delivered what he campaigned upon. Obviously, black folks are frustrated about that. You see that represented in the polling data. So let's talk about it. I don't want to presume what you know or believe, Shelley, about that dynamic that's happening in politics right now. So if you would give us your sentiment and I will opine.
Really what you just said it, whether you agree with polls or not, the polling I always say are a snapshot in time. And the polling right now essentially shows Joe Biden losing African Americans from 95, 94% down to, I think the last Real Clear Politics average has it about 76%, which is a huge number from the base. So if you just look at the polling numbers, I believe that there's a huge opportunity now for African American conservatives who have some sense to go out there and talk to African American voters and meet them where they are on the issues: inflation, high prices, war in Ukraine, taxation, school choice, and high crime.
You know, it's really interesting, and I actually agree with you on the sentiment that Biden's numbers are slipping, but it's a reason, okay? So I'm gonna get into that reason. Biden was at 8% disapproval rating within his first 2 months with African Americans. All right, that's actually good, right? As far as overall statistics. And then that number about a month and a half ago increased to roughly 30% disapproval among African Americans. That number has gone in the right direction for Biden slightly after the successful appointment of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. And so that helped him with some of the African American numbers because that actually was one campaign promise that he made and he kept, all right? So they're gonna try to ride that all the way out to the midterm elections. It's not going to be strong enough, obviously, to overturn some of the other dynamics they campaigned on, such as the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, and there are a few others that they have failed to deliver. But let me say this about why black people are saying they express disapproval to the administration. That also includes a black woman who's a graduate of an HBCU. The reason why that's happening is because black people are looking at policy. Would you not agree? They're looking at policy and the lack of delivery of what they voted for.
Oh, absolutely. But okay. Of course, they are looking at policy. They're also looking at their kitchen table issues. Black voters, I've often said it, are no different than white voters when it comes to going to the grocery store and buying groceries and finding that they're paying more than they were paying a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago. High gas prices. And also, I think crime is going to play an overwhelmingly important part in these midterm elections. Crime rising.
Okay.
So so I agree.
So it's a policy issue. And
absolutely,
okay, so
absolutely
we agree on that. So here's the point I'm making. Republicans will have to fundamentally change in order to secure more black conservatives on their side. And I've always said this from day one. When you tell a party that you're going to vote for them no matter what, they're going to take advantage of you.
Absolutely.
And so what have Democrats done? And in part, Republicans are to blame too. So let me show you the game that's being played right now in the precarious situation it puts us in. We vote for the Democrat because the Democrat is at least saying, here are the things germane to your community that we are willing to solve. If it's access to education, if it's enhancing small minority business loan opportunities, if it's creating localized or hyper local opportunities for opportunity zones, et cetera, for black communities or black business owners, whatever it may be. They're campaigning on these things. They're campaigning on voter rights. They're campaigning on reform. And then they get in there and they don't deliver. Well, once they're up for re-election, Shelley, here's the unfortunate reality. They then say, well, listen, I just couldn't do it the first time, but if you vote for me again, we'll have exactly the numbers we need to make it happen this time. The challenge is the Republicans are typically not even having the same conversation. You can't get them to engage in a good faith conversation about those reforms, which 96% of Americans agree that we need police reform, right? These things are actually bipartisan issues. So this is what we're left with, brother. We're left with one political party that says, what the hell are you going to do? Vote for this guy? And then this guy, the other side is saying, we're not changing a damn thing. We have our agenda. We're not changing for you. We're not talking about your issues. Vote for us anyway because it'll make Democrats look bad. And so it's like, so where does the black voter go that's conscientious about policy when one side, the conservative side, is about 10%, maybe 10% on their side on some stuff? And then at least, but the left-leaning candidates are typically 90% of their side, at least on proclamation of policy. What are your thoughts?
I'll tell you, because one, I think you mischaracterized the Republican agenda in a majorly heinous and dishonest way. Opportunity zones were pushed by the Trump administration. Small business loans coming out of SBA, small business loans.
Allow me to respond.
Well, you can, but let me finish.
Okay.
Small business loans were pushed. I don't care what you say about it. You said the term opportunity zones.
Right, and I'm going to give you the formula.
You can give me all the formulas you want. Hold on,
no, Shelley, allow me to make one, brother. Allow me to make one point, and I'll let you finish.
After you
the opportunity zone in the formulation of Donald Trump did something uniquely different, and I'm going to bring that to your forefront in a moment. Go ahead.
That's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. The fact of the matter is, I'm saying that you mischaracterized Republican messaging around African policies geared towards African Americans.
Well, clear it up. What are they doing?
Clear it up. School choice is a hugely important and very popular policy prescription.
That was pushed by President Barack Obama. That was also pushed by President Barack Obama.
It was pushed during Barack
That is not, brother. That was pushed by President Barack Obama. He created funding for school choice. What are you talking about?
Listen,
you didn't know that?
Barack Obama ran on charter schools and backed off of it after he got elected at the behest of the National Education Association. But even before, let's see.
No, and also people like Roland Martin have presented school choices.
Sir, Barack Obama's not on a ballot. So let me get back to my point. Okay. Policy-wise, African-American Republicans and the Republican Party do have policies that African-Americans are embracing. In Florida, Ron DeSantis ran on school choice, and black mothers swung that election for him.
How many? What was the percentage
of black women that did not vote Democrat for Ron DeSantis? Is around 12 or 13%. As you know,
brother, my question is simple. You just cited that black woman swung the election. I'm asking you a simple question.
Maybe that was hyperbole.
Maybe that was a lie. Maybe that was untrue.
That wasn't untrue.
What was the percentage of black women that voted for DeSantis?
If it was anything higher than 8%, then he swung the election, because normally in that state, black voters for governor for the Democrats are 94, 95%. In Virginia, we saw a higher turnout of African Americans for Winston Sears and Glenn Youngkin. So whatever the number you're going to give me, if it's not 95% for the Democrats, it swung an election. So let me continue on. School choice is a policy that African Americans embrace, regardless of what the media will tell you about what the unions say.
So what's the polling data on that?
Law and order.
I'm asking you a question, Shelley. What's the polling data on that?
I don't know. You tell me. I know it's a popular issue with African American voters.
Okay.
Now, if you want to tell me
at some point, brother, you're going to have to come to the table with at least a figure or two, a status, because you keep pulling things out of your ass. I know that's your style, brother. Come on, man, calm down, brother. Calm down. Be respectful of the platform, brother. You can listen, control yourself, and be respectful of the platform, brother. You out of control.
Right. Okay, let me say something though. You keep cutting me off.
I'm providing clarity on points that you're making. I just would like you to provide a stat or two. You keep saying generalizations.
I don't need a stat because you know why I don't need a stat?
Tell me why, brother.
We're talking about a group of people who vote 95, 96% for one side. You just explained that one side won't do anything for them because they have them in lock. So
no, I didn't say it quite like that. Don't mischaracterize what I said. I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity to respond now. So allow me to go ahead and respond to some of what you said. Now, black people are smart voters. You do agree with that, correct?
I do. I think all voters are smart voters.
All right, that's great. So I believe in particular that black people are smart voters. So I'm going to give you some stats, and I'll let you actually deal with these stats, okay? So there is a reason why black people do tend to vote more so.
No, I don't want to deal with that.
Hold on,
we're not
brother.
Going to do that here.
Brother, let me tell you this, Shelley.
Tell me where they stand on school choice. Tell me where they stand on school choice.
Shelley, I'm going to finish.
Tell me where they stand on school choice.
Shelley, I'm going to finish.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Right.
I know you're afraid, but it'll be okay. I promise. We'll get through it together. All right, so let me read some of the stats. So we both agree that black voters are smart voters. We both agree with that. There is a reason why black people do typically vote for left-leaning candidates more so than right-leaning candidates.
Absolutely.
So we go policy by policy from economic to education and to higher education. Right. And K through 12 education. So let me start with economics, okay? Right. So under Democratic presidents, black families' income grew. Hold on. No, you don't get to do that. No, Shelley, let me say this, brother.
This is ridiculous.
Shelley,
presidents don't spend money.
Shelley, don't you have Shelley?
Presidents don't spend money.
Shelley,
say that you could cut me off. Presidents don't spend money. Presidents
Shelley,
don't
listen,
spend
man.
money. That's a ridiculous.
I wouldn't dare come to your show and literally cut you off for making your own point on your program. If I was saying
something ridiculous, you would. If I was saying something,
I would allow your ass to say something ridiculous to put yourself in a corner. So I absolutely would. But at the end of the day, brother, I will respect your platform. Shelley, I'm going to finish, brother. Either I cut your mic and finish, or you can finish with me, or you can run. Which way? Which one you want to do?
Anyway, you can cut my mic. That would be you running. But the fact of the matter is saying that people.
Are you scared for me to cite a simple stat?
No, you said it before. I've been on.
All right, I'm going to say it again because everybody wasn't watching that day. So I'm going to say it again.
It's a lie.
Oh, okay. So let me say it, and then you tell me what the lie is.
The president doesn't spend money. Period. End of story.
Brother, I am going.
The president spends not a dime.
Man, you're showing yourself to be afraid, brother. What you scared of?
Because I already know
if what I'm saying is wrong, brother, let me say the wrong thing, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. All right, that's how we're gonna get it in.
Let's say the wrong thing.
So there's a reason why black folks do tend to vote for left-leaning candidates more so than right, because left-leaning candidates bring them a win more so than right-leaning candidates do. And I'm gonna read some of these wins.
After they haven't already, all right.
All right, so here's some of the wins. Black families' incomes grow on average about $1,000 a year, but only grow $142 under Republican leadership. The black unemployment rate, man, you're gonna keep doing that, really, man. You're gonna really keep doing that.
Don't lie, sir. President. That's what you want to say. Not leadership, president.
No, the data that I'm citing
says president.
Is from, sir. The data that I'm citing
says president. We have no leadership in this country. That's one-sided, sir.
You're like a child, man. It's like herding a cat. God, come on, brother.
I'm not gonna allow you to say lies.
Man, get off my show. Have a good day. Goodbye. I'll call you later, man. You're being silly as hell. You're ridiculous. What you talking about? You won't allow. You on somebody else's show. You dumb. You silly. You stupid. Bye.
I love it. Bye. But you're gonna lie. You're a liar.
You're scared. He's afraid. Poor little man, little tink. He's afraid of facts. He had to keep bloviating. Scared to hear them. But I will go ahead and say that for the sake of the audience who's still here. So there's a reason why black people do tend to vote left more so than right, because when you vote for a right-leaning candidate, black folks get defunded. Black folks lose money in jobs, they lose money in bank accounts, and they lose money in savings, and they lose money in higher education access. So I'm gonna read the stats. Here are the stats. Under Democratic presidents, black families' incomes grew. And this was actually done in reference to the policies of those presidents and not just the presidents. So that's the part I wanted to correct dear Shelley on, which he didn't want me to. So under Democratic presidents and policies, Incomes grew on average of $1,000 annually, but only grew on average about $142 under Republican policies. The black unemployment rate fell by a net of 7.9% across 26 years of Democratic policies, but went up a net of 13.7 points during 26 years of Republican policies. And across the years of Democratic leadership, black poverty declined by a net of 23.6 percentage points, but grew by 3 points when Republicans held the policy directive. So those are problems, and it's very similar also for Latinos in America as well, Latinos in America. And so unfortunately, I didn't want to continue going back and forth with Shelley. He was on one today. He is afraid of actual facts. I hope my dear brother gets his life together. I still love him.